And now we begin. Our first award tonight, the Trillium Book Award for Poetry. There are 3 English language poets nominated this year, beginning with Madhur Anand for A New Index for Predicting Catastrophes, McClelland and Stewart.
The book is A New Index for Predicting Catastrophes. An index is a measure or a sign of things. And what I have discovered is that poetry is actually an excellent index. It's an excellent index for many things, and is inexplicably accurate in describing things. The catastrophes in my book refer to things from at the personal level all the way up to global levels.
Soraya Peerbaye for Tell, Poems for a Girlhood from Pedlar Press.
Many of us sort of looking back on our childhood, sort of understand like why you would want so hard to be close to a group of your peers and why you would risk so much. So I think without trying to speak for Rena Virk, it's an attempt to mourn that life and also to cast a wider net for that mourning, like to look at not only who she was, but where she lived and where she died.
And Damien Rogers for Dear Leader from Coach House Books.
There's a lot of very difficult periods, and I simultaneously to becoming pregnant was becoming completely legally responsible for my mother. I'm an only child. She was a single mother. So I didn't want to write about that very directly, but it's definitely throughout the entire collection is this preoccupation with a rather belated sense of becoming an adult. For me, I think that often happens when people's parents get sick or die, and then becoming a parent as well, and then having those things kind of happening at the same time.
Ladies and gentlemen, the finalists for this year's English Language Trillium Book Award for Poetry. Congratulations to all 3. And Mark, over to you to announce the winner.
Thank you, Heather. It's very exciting for me. I've never done this before. Terrified I'm going to have a George Clooney moment or something. But it gives me great pleasure to announce that the Trillium Book Award for Poetry goes to Soraya Peerbaye for Tell Poems for a Girl, published by Pedlar Press.
We're going to have you come up in just 1 second. What we always do is we just share what the jury thought of the winning submission, and it's just an extraordinary compliment. Soraya Peerbaye's Tell Poems for a Girlhood is not only a morally urgent exemplar of the poetry of witness, it's also a vitally personal condemnation of the violence too often evident in adolescent Canadian experience. Peerbaye's intricate individual intrusions are not only searingly and disturbingly personal, but also ultimately responsibly just. Here is an object lesson in using literary beauty to express ethical horror. All of us should be listening. Would Soraya please join us upstairs, or on the stage, not really upstairs, up 2 stairs, and also Aga, who is representing Beth Follett of Pedlar Press. Would you come up on stage to accept the award? Yeah, and if you'd hold, and then please say a few words. Our winner, Soraya.
Thank you very much, and thank you to the OMDC. I'm really touched. This work has been cared for and held up by many women and women of color. I'm thinking of my publisher, Beth Follett from Pedlar Press, and many people in this room. And I also just want to say, I know that this is a great honor, but I also just really appreciate the work being held in relation to works that I deeply admire, Madhur Anand and Damien Rogers, and I'm so honored to be in your company. And maybe just the only other thing I'll say is I had hesitated when I wrote the book to dedicate it to Rena Virk. I didn't really want to thank someone that I did not know and to somehow lay claim to a life. And also, what does it mean to sort of thank someone who didn't choose her being known in the world in this way? But I do want to say that, yes, this book is for her, but it's also for, you know, what it is like to be like a young girl of color, or a young girl with difference written on the body, like what it is for our young people to sort of grow up today, and just like the courage that it takes. So if this is a way of saying this is for them, and I'm so pleased that my daughter is here today, and also just that our kids are playing together, like in the corridor, is really lovely. So I hope that's a wonderful way to have the evening. Thank you.
Lovely way to begin. Thank you and congratulations once again.